Welcome to First and Goal 365, the number one spot for player development both on and off the field. I'm your host, Coach Block. Today's guest from Shaw University, Coach Adrian Jones, will be streaming live today at 8 p.m. on Facebook and on YouTube. So make sure you come ready to go on the First and Goal 365 podcast. And remember, don't compare, compete. Welcome to First and Goal 365, the number one.
What's going on, people? This is your man, Coach Block. This is another episode of First and Goal 365. This is the last one for the month, so I had to come with the heavy hitters on this last episode. Then I'm going to take a break because guess what? I'm tired of talking to people. This becomes a lot. So if anybody doesn't understand how it is to interview, try it. This podcast world is different. But I'm glad I ended with a great crew of guys. I'm going to start with, on the camera, that's going to be y'all left, my right, head coach of Shaw University, Coach Adrian Jones, DC, Coach Wiggins, and OC, Coach Hess. These are all the guys that I worked with, not but just a year ago. And we're going to talk about some of the issues that we see with social media and misconceptions about HBCUs and representation by those who are in those seats. And we also going to talk some Shaw U football, recruiting, how that works, what goes on with everybody and how that goes. So, coaches, man, just start with Coach Jones and let's work around. Just tell a little bit about yourself.
Coach Jones, I'm from Durham, North Carolina, born and raised, head coach of Shaw University, been fortunate enough to coach on many different levels, head coach of Southern Durham High School, running back coach at North Carolina Central, once again, also a defensive back at North Carolina Central.
Oh, man, I appreciate y'all for being here. Coach Wiggs, the man of few words. How you doing, man? I'm glad that you actually came, Coach Wiggs. Pull your microphone closer to you, brother.
I'm Coach Wiggins. I'm from North Virginia. I've been coaching about 35 years in Cartersville. I'm trying to decide when I'm going to do it. Man, let me know how I do it. But I enjoy being here. I'm thankful about that.
No problem. Coach?
Yeah, Coach Torian Hester, born and raised in Durham, North Carolina. I've been coaching about 15 years now, 7 of those years being at Shaw University. And coming to Shaw University, I was at Southern down as a wide receiver coach. So, sitting with Coach Jones and blessed to be here, man.
Great, man. I appreciate y'all, man. We're going to jump straight into our first down question. But first, before I go into the first down, I need to do our commercial for Women Impacting Now, which is a series that my sister is running where she is interviewing women all Women's History Month, which is the month of March, where she's talking about women impacting the community, women impacting education, women impacting business. So with that being said, let me run this quick commercial and we'll be back with the coaches.
Hey guys, it's your girl SoFab, co-owner of TDS Radio, and I'm super excited for this announcement for the month of March. As we all know, it's Women's History Month, and we are kicking off Women Impacting Now, where we are going to be interviewing several different women from all different walks of life, from tech, startups, cosmetics, anything and everything under the sun. We're going to bring these ladies in to talk about how they're impacting our community for the better and all the awesome things that they are doing for the month of March. So please make sure you guys tune in. Make sure you're following us, TDS Radio, on Instagram, Facebook. These interviews are happening every Tuesday and Wednesday at 6 p.m. Please make sure you guys tune in and hope you guys enjoy. And don't forget, it's TDS Radio, our voice, our culture.
So for those who don't know and those who are watching, my sister and I have a radio station called TDS Radio, stands for Two Dope Siblings Radio. So go ahead and check that out. You can Google it. It's real simple. Just Google TDS Radio. It'll pop right up. You can go ahead and make that a favorite on your phone. It acts just like Spotify or Tidal. You can tune in anytime, Bluetooth it, no matter what. So just go ahead on and like and support that. So fellas, man, one of the things that I wanted to talk about, especially as we all Black coaches in this room, and sometimes, our rap from players can be the hardest. The ones that look like us give us the hardest damn time. So for those who don't know, I'm going to run a quick video by Shady McCoy. For those who don't know who Shady McCoy is, he is a former NFL player who played underneath Eric Bieniemy. When asked about Eric Bieniemy being a head coach, he went in, what does he do? It's Andy Reid, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Things that we should not expect from or players who look like us, especially those who have retired, who know the situation. Dude went in. So for those who have not seen it, let me let you get a little piece of what Shady McCoy said.
LaShawn Berry Shady McCoy is getting blasted by many for saying that Eric Bieniemy is going to get exposed now that he's with the Washington Commanders.
I hope he doesn't, but I think he will.
Now that Eric Bieniemy's chapter is official with the Commanders as their assistant head coach and offensive coordinator, many are curious to see how it all plays out. Well, LaShawn McCoy not only says he knows Bieniemy better than most, even though he was only in KC for 1 year and got benched and carried to a ring, but continues to downplay Bieniemy's coaching abilities.
What's his value? What makes him a good offensive coordinator? I've been in the rooms where he's coaching. He doesn't talk in there. Andy Reid talks in there, but he has no real responsibility.
And after Shady doubled down on Twitter saying he doesn't see any traits or skills for EB to be a good coordinator, former players EB has coached for much longer than McCoy came out in droves to dispute what was said. Jamal Charles disagreed, speaking highly of EB and said he deserves to be a head coach, and Tyreek Hill, Tyrann Mathieu, Ron Parker, Willie Gay Jr., Charkandrick West, Jeff Allen, among others, also came to Bieniemy's defense. So who do you believe, McCoy or everyone else?
We're going to talk about that. Who do we believe, McCoy or everyone else? So I'm going to start with you, Coach Jones. When we talk about a player, a former player he's been under his wing, just going in on such a negative angle with him, how does that impact not just Eric Bieniemy, but other coaches as well that are black coaches in this game?
I totally
Mm-hmm.
agree. I don't think we should have done it.
Bring your mic closer to you.
I don't think
Yep.
we should have done it. At the end of the day, if you got this coach, you keep it on the rap.
Mm-hmm.
Shouldn't talk about it. It's his livelihood. At the end of the day, he's a good coach.
Mm-hmm.
And you might not have a good relationship with him. But at the end of the day,
Right. Right.
Let him prove it to himself.
Right.
Let him prove it to the nation. But for another black community, got another black community, and a brother said,
Yeah.
you should do that.
Yeah.
Regardless of like that. If you don't have, if you don't like the man, it's no different as a head coach guys that come through our program that don't want to buy into our program.
Right.
I don't blast them on social media. I don't blast them in public.
Right.
You know, if the coach calls and asks me a question, I can see it out there.
Right.
But I never put it out there in the world.
Yeah. Yeah. Coach Wiggs, being in the game, man, 35 years, man. How do you feel about that type of behavior from a player?
Well, I think in that case, I think he's really.
Yeah.
And he can really know that Coach Warren was saying. I think that being a black man should be another.
Yeah.
We all pay our dues when we're young brothers.
Mm-hmm.
I think a very, very grateful dude. He's definitely doing a great team and on that great head coach.
Right.
And use that for his thing.
Right.
No wrong.
Right. Coach S?
I agree with Coach Williams, man. He used his platform to elevate.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. So I think that coming in high school and college and in a professional, you're going to always have a black sheep.
Right.
You're going to always have at least one guy that's not going to do what you're asking them to do.
Right.
And then being that, they're not going to get that playing time.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're looking at their coach like, oh, that coach doesn't like me or
Right.
whatever the case may be. But then once it's done, now he has that backlash against that coach saying, oh, well, the coach didn't like me. I talked down on the coach, talked down on the program,
Right.
everything you can think of.
Mm-hmm.
But in a sense, it's actually that young man's fault.
That's his problem.
That's
Yeah.
his problem.
It's lack of accountability.
Exactly.
And so that's what they was actually saying because I forgot who tweeted. I think it was Jamal Charles. He said, man, you just mad because he told you to hold on to that ball. And, you know, he had came in on the latter part of Shady's career. Shady wasn't getting touches where Jamal was getting touches. Now, if you guys could be in Eric Bieniemy's seat, we'll run it that way. How do you respond? Like, do you guys think it was something that Shady was just kind of showing off because he has that platform? Because you figure everybody who commented in favor of Shady, they're not on TV. They're on TV, but they got their helmets on. Whereas Shady got that platform with Fox. He's sitting there with a microphone just like us. So do you feel as though it was for show, or like you said, do you feel like it was just some bitterness based upon that little snippet we got from Jamal Charles? I'll start with you, Coach Wiggs.
I think it was bitter. I think they handled the platform and used the platform to try to do stuff up between that one.
Mm-hmm.
Wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Coach, what you think about him using that platform that way?
I mean, he used the platform at the end of the day, but what I'm going to comment on Eric Bieniemy did an excellent job of responding back to it.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, you can't worry about that. He was the offensive coordinator of the Washington
Commanders. Commanders. Yeah.
That man can judge him the way you want to judge him, but he may be.
Yeah.
There's no difference from me at the end of the day. All our coaches, we have people judge us and say we're not good coaches.
Right.
This is my livelihood. At the end of the day, I'm not trying to do this.
Right.
I want to win. I'm going to put the best product on the football field, and guys are going to find me job for it.
Yeah. Coach S?
I agree with Coach Jones. Coach B responsible. Excuse me, right on.
Yeah.
Right on. That's why he's going to be a head coach.
Yeah.
In I would say about 3 years.
Right.
He handled it in such a professional way that I think everybody saw that. Okay, yeah, he is going to be.
Yeah.
He should be a head coach. He is going to be a head coach.
Yeah.
My hat goes off to Coach B.
So can y'all talk about, for those who don't understand the dynamic, because Shady was like, oh, he's in the meetings, he's not really speaking, da-da-da. And for the common person, they don't even know the dynamics of how head coach communication to coordination communication. So Coach Jones, being the head coach in the room, can you talk about just how the responsibilities come downhill in communication with meetings and all that stuff? Because Shady's speaking as if everybody knows. And those who do know would know that a head coach inside of a meeting, everybody's quiet when the head man is talking. But, when you have your individual meetings or your group meetings, then the coordinators take over. So can you kind of explain that for the viewers who don't know, the inner workings of what it looks like as a head coach?
It's a chain of command, but at the end of the day, everybody, you're loyal to the staff.
Mm-hmm.
You let your staff coach. For instance, I'm on the offensive side of the ball and I'm a defensive player.
Mm-hmm.
I figure myself as an offensive guy right now because we need help on the side. And at the end of the day, if I have some input for Coach Hester as the offensive coordinator, I put my input in.
Mm-hmm.
So I might see something I like.
Mm-hmm.
And say, Coach, just try this out.
Right.
He knows a lot of football, but I know football as well. And we come together as one and get the best idea we can get as a football staff.
Right.
And with Eric Bieniemy, Andrew Reid is an offensive guru.
Right.
Why wouldn't you want to learn?
Why
wouldn't you let him call some calls?
Right.
But we know at the end of the day, Andrew Reid is not making all the calls.
Yeah.
There are some good calls that he makes. They collaborate and they go into the lab and they get together. No different than Coach Hester.
Right.
We go in the lab, we get together. Coach Hester has an excellent mind when it comes to passing games. I think I have an excellent mind when it comes to running games. And an offensive line coach as well. So we come together and try to put the best product out there.
Yeah.
On the defensive side of the ball, I am a defensive guy. Coach Wiggins has been a defensive guru we know for many years. Livingstone, Virginia, North Carolina Central. The list goes on. Shaw University. So they're a little different over there on that side of the ball. Coach Wiggins is the head coach of the defense. He's my assistant head coach. He's been doing it a long time. I don't have to really give him anything.
Right.
I still have an eye. I still have some things that I want to say and do. We just come together and talk about it. I think when you have a staff that is on the same page at the end of the day, sky's the limit for those type of staff. You can't get into egos. You gotta be willing to listen. At the end of the day, I might be 100% wrong.
Right.
I want to do X, Y, Z. I want to do X, Y.
Right.
At the end of the day, I'm the guy that you're going to look at the end of the day. We don't win, or when we do win.
Right.
I'm not going to talk about these two guys.
Right.
So we come to an understanding. I might make mistakes, but let me make mistakes. And when I make mistakes, I do a pretty good job of that.
Yeah. And Coach Wiggs, with that type of experience that you have, man, can you talk about just how you go into, working with your coaches, game plan wise, setting it up for the actual game when, people don't understand. I've talked to a lot of folks, they don't understand how much communication goes into between each play. Like not even just overall, between each play, how much communication go in. But can you talk about the trust factor that you have with your assistant coaches? Because they don't know how much communication Eric has on the sideline, because nobody knows that he's talking. You can see Andy Reid just standing there, but Eric is working, talking to Mahomes. Right. So could you talk about the communication and that part, just even game day?
When we started with the coaches, I think responsibility for anything go wrong with this thing. Mm-hmm. I talked to I had right hand man, I talked to Coach Hill. Mm-hmm. Right hand man, and we were saying back. I call him at night, midnight, talking about football, man.
Right.
And, we trying to get things right so the kids can respond to it. Mm-hmm. And it goes a long way. A lot of times people see what happened with Saturday. They don't see what happened with Saturday. Right. They see what Saturday.
Right.
Why are you doing that?
Right.
So we watch them.
Right. Right.
So we know what's going on, and we try to make things happen, make things easy for the kids.
Yeah. Yes, talk about like the scripting of plays, because offense is a little bit different than defense.
Oh yeah.
So offense, you come in with X amount of plays already scripted that you've discussed with the head coach, and I'm just trying to give people a feel of when they see communication, they may see or hear the announcers talk about Andy Reid, but there's so much that goes into the communication from Bieniemy to the quarterback. Just talk about the preparation of that and even scripting your plays.
First off, we all need an offensive unit, and like Coach John said, what I try to do is now this is my first year as offensive coordinator, mm-hmm. So that was like a learning curve. Mm-hmm. What was my weaknesses, what my strength was, what were our weaknesses as far as the offensive unit, and just kind of hone on in that. So going into the spring, that's mm-hmm. kind of what we've been working on, and I know that coming from Coach Bieniemy. Listen to a podcast or an interview that he did, and one thing that he said that the communication between him and all the offensive coaches, that's what makes it work. Mm-hmm. That's what makes it work. There may be an idea I might have mm-hmm. that Coach Jones might not like. I'm cool with it, mm-hmm. and vice versa. Mm-hmm. So it's all about pretty much getting on the same page.
Right.
As far as putting the scripts together, I deal with the offensive line coach and the running back coach, Coach Gardner, the offensive line coach and Coach George, mm-hmm. the running back coach. I get with Coach Jones apart from the passing game. So we kind of pretty much put it together. Mm-hmm. Of course, we're trying to get each quarterback a good number of reps, an equal number of reps. Mm-hmm. We try to get them an equal number of certain plays, whether it's a one play, they're running the ball, whether it's a shot play or a quick game or a play action play. So mm-hmm. just trying to marry it up to where we all communicate, everybody on the same page, and everybody get amount of reps.
Right.
That goes with the receivers too, and the running back.
Yeah.
It's a daily task.
Yeah.
It's a daily task. But so it might like we have practice today. I always mark down what good plays we have. Mm-hmm. I'll come back next week and mm-hmm. run the same play, but maybe in a different formation.
Right.
So it's just getting pretty much finding our niche.
Yeah.
Being creative. That's the main thing I'm going into. We're going into the spring ball.
So I'm glad you said an everyday. And it's an everyday task, because I wanted to talk about, before going into our next topic, just trying to, once again, for those who are watching, I'm trying to give you an overview with the coaches that are here of how much goes into just calling the plays and getting to game day. And with that being said, both of you said two different things about your approach to just practice. And so I'm going to start with you, Coach Jones, because people don't know how much a coach is pulled away from actual game day film and all that, getting a chance to watch film, and how much you really trust the fact that the coordinators are doing their job, which is the things that people don't know. Andy Reid ain't going to be in it every single day the way Eric Bieniemy is in that. But can you guys go through just your preparation with film and meetings, et cetera, just on what it looks like Monday to Friday before we even hit the field on Saturday?
Well, it starts with like substitution.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about that all the time. Substitution out there at the end of the day. You have a lot of coaches that like to blame you, mm-hmm. but you got to look at yourself. Sometimes that kid might not be able to throw the ball.
Right.
So what can we do with it?
Yeah.
We throw it in the media guy.
Yeah.
We throw it in the foot game. So we're going to throw it in the media out in the foot game.
Mm-hmm.
So you just got to be a dynamic of that. You know, as a head coach, you know, like I said, I'm selling the program.
Mm-hmm.
I'm selling the program. I'm being a coach. And I'm delegating.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot goes on there. I have to be on TV.
Mm-hmm.
I have to be on that.
Mm-hmm.
Put fires out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the athletic director called me and said something going on with my football players.
Mm-hmm.
I have to handle that. But I want my football coaches to make sure that they are honed in on the X's and O's of this process.
Yeah.
Like I said, I trust them. Coach Hester does the script. We sit down as a staff. We look at the script. We go over it. Make sure you know, we don't make any errors on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then it might be a play that we want to see one quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
It might be a play that we want to see the running back. We just critique it. Coach Wiggs, you know, maybe the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but just being that I'm on the offense side of the ball, I have more input on the offense side of the ball, but I also do look at the defense.
Yeah.
And see what they're doing and try to make sure we want to put the best player on the football.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And you know, we sat down the other day, me and Coach Hester, Coach Darden wasn't there, and we sat down and put 3-4 different ways of putting our best offensive line on the field.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's playing center,
Mm-hmm.
they're playing guard, they're playing tackle.
Mm-hmm.
We put 4 different starting lineups, and you know, and we particularly talked. We went back and forth over why I wanted it this way, or why Coach Darden wanted it next. But at the end of the day, when we make a decision, it's all about making the decision the right way, making sure that everybody is on the same page.
Yeah.
But also them defending the reason why they want to do something.
Right.
I might knock it, but I want you to be 100% hard on why you want that play to be put into the system.
Right.
Defend.
Right.
And I think our guys are doing a great job of defending.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not coming back. I love the fact that they're defending on what they believe.
Right. Right. So then, Coach, with talking about like meeting times and all that with players and coaches. So just how much goes into that Monday to Friday before we even hit the field? How much meeting time, film time are you expecting just with players and coaches?
Well, meeting time, man, we meet about 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's coaches, coaching the player, whether it's players and players, they call their own meetings sometimes. We try to make sure that we know everything else changing.
Mm-hmm.
We are a big Tennessee team.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody got that.
Yeah.
I got one, you got one.
Yeah.
Yeah. We all watch Tennessee, man. We pick up Tennessee, what the guys are doing, and we react to it. So watching the film, man, is big.
Mm-hmm.
I watch them all day long.
Yeah.
I started thinking double. It's kind of go out on rag and go walk, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I go walk, man. But watching film, man, is big, man.
Yeah.
Make sure the guys watch film.
Okay.
All the way up to Friday.
Yeah.
Friday night in the hotel, we watching film.
Yeah.
So it's big. Because no matter what happens on game day, the kids on the field, it's my fault.
Right.
Whatever the kid does, it's still my fault because I just had someone to field.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So it's my fault.
Yeah.
Either way you look at it.
Yeah. So before we go into our next point, I got my my second sponsor, which is Lids. So if anybody needs anything from Lids, you can hit me up anytime. Y'all know I keep a hat on, cover up this ball D bean. So check out the commercial that we have from Chris Paul, and we will be back in a second.
Peel back time. Open your eyes to history. My dad gave me game. My dad is why I fell in love with the game of basketball. He used to be in 2 men's leagues. It took me and my brother with him all the time. One league, his team was called the CJ Jocks. The other league, his team was called the Chris Crushers. One league, he wore number 6 for Dr. J. Other league, he wore number 44 for Iceman. Like my pops was definitely the person who gave me game. Even nowadays, like with technology and with the growth of games and the way things change, you tend to forget the people who paved the way before you. You know, if not for these leagues, people that look like me wouldn't have been able to play at all.
So what's going on, man? How y'all doing? I'm glad everybody has tuned in. If y'all look and see where the coaches went, the coaches actually had to use the restroom because when they came in, we started right away. But we are going to discuss next. Our next point is going to be, we have Coach Prime And now that we have college coaches here as well, we're going to talk about what he said that was absolutely, some people may think it was crazy. I don't necessarily think it was crazy because I just don't think it was crazy. I'm going to say that. I don't think it was crazy. I just think it was not necessary to say in public. And then also, when he heard Rich Eisen and the other guys laugh, he kind of should have knew right then and there that this was something that wasn't it wasn't appropriate for television, because you were currently laughing at the young men's situation, their house situation, their living situation, and arrangements, and that's not necessarily okay. So with that being said, we're going to go into that next with the guys here. But please understand that you can tune in to Live 365 to hear TDS Radio and to hear everything that we got going on. You can also support the First and Goal 365 podcast by going to First and Goal 365 and following First and Goal 365 and sharing this. If you share this helps me out tremendously. You guys would not understand how much a like and a share and a follow goes. It goes so far to be able to help keep this content rolling and to be able to get great interviewees in the building. So such as Coach Jones, who's going to be here, and Coach Wiggins, and also Coach T. Hester. So these guys didn't know we're live. When you're live, you take breaks. They think we're on commercial break, but it's okay. So, got guys that got to go to the bathroom, get water, all that good stuff, man. So they don't realize we live. This is live. So whenever they ain't here, I got to fill in with the. So everybody back, so we good money. But I'm gonna run with the craziness Primetime said publicly, which was pretty wild. So check it out.
Can you tell who that is just by talking to him now that you're walking in the living rooms and you're seeing more and more and more?
We have different attributes: smart, tough, fast, disciplined with character. Yep. We're looking at now quarterbacks are different.
Yeah.
We want mother, father, dual parent. Mm-hmm. We want that kid to be 3, 5 and up, because he's got to be smart. Mm-hmm. Not bad decisions off the field at all, mm-hmm. because he has to be a leader of men. It's so many different attributes in what we look for when we see a quarterback. And you would love a coach's son. Somewhere that the coaches coached him, and I'm not going down my road. I see you smiling because
I know who your quarterback is.
He's talking about my son. I didn't just build a template for my son, but that's what really we look for in quarterbacks. Different positions are different. Like O lineman, I look for dual parent homes,
right?
A strong father that they adhered to,
right?
Smart kid, at least 3.3. and above.
You're also describing Hurts.
Yeah, tough.
Well.
Physical. Offensive lineman. Defensive lineman is totally opposite.
What do you mean?
Single mama. Trying to get it. He's on free lunch. I'm talking about just trying to make it. He's trying to rescue mama. Like mama barely made the flight.
Trying to get out the mud.
And I want him to just go get it. It's a whole different attributes that you look for in different positions, and we have that stuff just chronicled. We know what we want, and we go get it.
So Prime, that was crazy to me. The reason why it was crazy to me is because once you notice people not laughing with you, but laughing at you, we got a problem. And I don't think Prime understood that line that he was teetering, because when he said things such as, I want my D-lines coming from single family home, barely making it, free lunch, mama barely making the plane, and all these people are laughing, that's somebody's real life situation. And the fact that they laughing at that bothered me, because that's where Prime as an entertainer and Prime as a coach, it got messy for me. But I'm going to let y'all talk about it and get y'all point of view, because y'all in the game, y'all recruiting and all that good stuff. So we're going to talk a little bit about recruiting and all that and how you guys take y'all approach. But let's talk a little bit about this messiness of Prime. I'll start with you as the head coach. I'll start with you, man.
Well, 2 or 3 thoughts on that. Mm-hmm. I have a daughter. Me and my daughter's mom are not together. My daughter lives in Jacksonville, Florida. Mm-hmm. I would hate to hear a coach say that they don't want my daughter because the single parent home.
Right.
At the end of the day, we got 2 parents They decided not to be together. They're raising a child and trying to do the best they can.
Yeah.
The other part is Deion is son lives in a single parent home.
How about it? Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
And he said he's one of the quarterbacks that has both parents in the house.
Right.
Well, both parents are in the house.
Right.
Your son being the starting quarterback at Colorado.
Yeah.
Deion's one of my favorite football players.
Mine
at
too.
the end of the day. But you just got to watch what you say. You know, as a head coach, the D-line and O-line, I want dogs.
Right.
I don't care if they got both moms, they got a dad and no mom. It doesn't matter. I want dogs.
Right. Right.
You know, maybe say it that way.
Yeah.
Just because they single parent and
ain't got nothing to do with that.
Nothing to do with their mentality,
right,
or how they play football.
Yes, sir.
You know, you know, sometimes you gotta draw the line. At the end of the day. And for instance, if that was Coach Jones that was said that on national TV, I would have got rid of it.
Oh yeah.
But being that I'm not the star that he is, you know, they kind of brushed that up under the rug.
And I was gonna tap on that, where if that was, let's say that was Coach Saban that said that, would it have been a different level of outrage? Coach Wiggs or anybody? Would y'all want
somebody else?
I don't know. I think the ones that looking at what happened was of the other.
Yeah. Right.
And Deion uses his platform right now to entertain whoever listens to him.
Right.
That's I'm being a part of a single mom home. I try to be a good actor.
Yeah. Say I'm all right.
So it don't matter. It don't matter if you live in deal with your aunt or whoever.
Right.
The failure is gonna be in you. It depends on what you put into it.
Yeah.
But like you said, if I said it, you know, like all the time. I say to my kid, I said, if I was Nick Saban told you the same thing I just told you to do, you've been gone a long time ago. Until I said it, you think your time is over.
Right. What about you, Hass? What's your view on it?
Deion has to get them down.
Yeah.
What do you say? You can sell water to a well, a shark, a fish. I mean, he got it. But in that type of venue, in that type of stage, he definitely should have said that.
Yeah.
As far as improving, man, like you said, we look at dogs. My son will be. What I try to do is I look at my emails and Twitter like every day. Every day. I'm talking about going like hours and hours and going through Twitter, going through my emails, trying to find, you know, a guy that takes the Motivate program.
Yeah.
I'm trying to give somebody's son a chance because I know how hard it is. I came from a single parent home, so that's my thing. Whether it's a scholarship or prefer a walk on for to get the opportunity to come play college football and have the opportunity to earn a scholarship, whether it's on the field or through academics.
Yeah.
So,
So I'm gonna swing it to you, Coach, and actually all the coaches. And when you talk about setting up your board, because you said the mentality that you want, but you know, a lot of young men think that just because they play a certain position, they are entitled or obligated to a shot. Can you talk about how you set up your board and, you know, what you address first and et cetera, and how it goes into the conversation with your coordinator? So can you talk about that first?
I'm going to let Coach Hester do a little bit more of the dynamics. Coach Hester was our recruiting coordinator one time. But when we get on that board, we number one is the need. What we need. You know, we learned a valuable lesson this year. You know, going into the season, we were predicted to be a pretty good football team. Whatever happened, we had some injuries, bugs, and kind of set us back. And that let me realize right then and there, offensive line-wise, we lost some very intricate parts of our offensive line, very intricate parts of our wide receiver core. Depth means a whole lot. And not just depth, just saying that Joe Blow behind me can go in and replace me, but somebody that is just as good as that guy that started in front of them.
Right.
Always looking over your shoulder. That's how championships are won. When you got the guy that's behind you just as good as you. So I'll let Coach Hurst kind of go into the dynamics.
Bring your mic to you.
I'll start from the beginning, man. Coach Jones had called me. First, he was like, man, be ready when I get this head coaching job. You You coming with me? So he called me. We on the way to a basketball game. He said, I want you to be my recruiting coordinator. I had no idea what that was. I had no idea. But as soon as he told me, I hit the ground running.
Yeah.
I hit the ground running. So when I was a recruiting coordinator, the first thing I did is I said, what do we need? Offensive line, defensive line, the trenches is the most important part on the football team.
Can you repeat that?
Offensive line, defensive line, the trenches is the most important part of the football team.
1 second. So for anybody who has consistently watched this podcast, you will hear every coach say, number one, offensive line, followed by a close defensive line. So for my offensive line and defensive line guys, have y'all stuff ready because y'all the first ones off the board. And in the transfer portal, the least amount of student athletes in the transfer portal, O-linemen. So I'm just saying, so all you DBs and RB, all that, y'all think that stuff is cute. O-line, D-line. Go ahead, Hess. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
That was a little advertising right there. We looking for O-linemen and D-linemen. But no, so that's the number one thing. What I do is also I look at the roster, see what guys we got leaving. I get the number of guys in that position. I said, okay, well, we got 3 linemen going out the door. We need to replenish. We got to bring in at least 5, 6. Same thing with each position. So that's what I do. We'll go and see what is needed, and we put it on the board. And then pretty much all coaches have their set areas of where they recruit, and we go out and do the best what we can do.
Yeah.
Once they do that, we always bring it in. We put it on the board. We watch every position. We grade them. Once we grade them, we tell the coach, go ahead and offer them. And then we pretty much, make sure, once we offer, make sure that we continue to establish that communication with that student athlete.
So 2 questions I got with that. When you offer, before you offer, GPA, what's necessary, and then after the GPA, or not even after the GPA, along with that film, what are you looking for in that film? Because these dudes put these highlights. I've almost cussed. They put these highlight tapes together, and they think they know what they're doing, but they're in terrible order, and they really don't know. So GPA first, and then can you hit on highlight tape? Yeah.
2.5 GPA. I know Dion said a 3.3 and all that stuff, but we know what type of generation of kids we're dealing with.
Right.
They did just have a pandemic. They were online getting educated. So we know that those grades are going to be kind of suspect. So 2.5 and above is what we look for. As far as the film, like I always tell recruits, man, put your best plays first.
Yeah.
Like your first play should be wowing the coaching staff. That next play should be wowing the coach. And that third play should be that first play got to get our attention.
Yeah.
So don't put like you're running down on kid. Like special teams is great. It's great.
Yeah.
But like if you're making a tackle and that's it, you're not having a force formula. No, put that towards the end of your highlights.
Yeah.
So it's just more what is going to attract that coach's eye.
And how many plays does that take? Roughly about.
I mean, OG will tell you. OG say he'll take maybe 2 plays for you.
I mean, I told you I don't. If you go past 5, that highlight tape is probably one of the best things you ever seen. Most coaches only need 1, 2, maybe even 3 plays, and then they're gonna tell somebody, "Hey, man, let's go ahead and get this kid on the hook."
You want to see the kids run. I don't mean run from in the pit.
Right.
You want to see them run.
Yeah.
You want to see how fast you do.
Yeah.
Everybody can run 10 yards.
Right.
A guy who run down the field and you see the speed. Because speed is something you can't teach.
Right.
Fast. And you got to find something else to go with that. Now you really can run.
Right.
So, it's but you don't need 20 plays. I don't need the whole game. I need something to say.
Yeah. So for you, Coach Wiggs, because not only are you're the DC, but you also coach the linebacker.
Right.
So what is a linebacker film where you gonna say to Coach Hess and Coach Jones, we gotta bring this kid in? What are 3 attributes that you can say right now? If I see these 3 things, I'm gonna go ahead and say let's get this kid in here. Okay.
That's what we gotta have. They like to see that early in the film. Sometimes it takes a little longer to recognize that kind of stuff. High school guys are totally different. You don't know how the guys are getting taught.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to take that into consideration. But, like I said, the kids can run and shoot.
Mm-hmm. Coach Jones, with you, when you see a film, what you looking at and you say, hey, I need him as a Bear?
Like you said, it has to be. I'm a firm believer in speed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just something has to stick out. You know, like I'm gonna use wide receivers, and it has to be a good route runner.
Mm-hmm.
Got to be for short-handed, for short-handed catcher. You know, those type of things, making people miss in the phone booth, all those things. But on that side of it, also, we need to let these coaches and these parents know that on a smaller level, we have 4 full-time coaches.
Mm-hmm.
We got 10 coaches on our staff that part-time, that whether they teach at a school, they have another full-time job. This job is part-time for them.
Right.
Don't give up on your child. Don't give up on your student athlete that you're coaching because the coach is not responding on your time.
Yeah.
Dig deeper.
Yeah.
Keep sending that email off. We're gonna look at it. It's just you gotta understand that the manpower that we have on the Division II level, and I'm speaking for all Division II schools, is totally different to Power 5.
Yeah. And so even guys, last week we had a Power 5 receiver coach on, and he said the same thing. Like, look, man, y'all got to show me that you like us just as much as we like you.
Interview.
Yeah. He said, so you guys tell me, I'll run it back to you, Hess. He said he gets tired of just the same cookie cutting email or text message on Twitter. Hey, coach, could you look, da-da-da. He said, meanwhile, you know, you may be emailing the wrong coach or texting the wrong coach, the wrong name and all that. So he was saying, like, do your homework, because if you want me to give you money, at least know who the hell's in that position. You know, so talk about that, man.
Oh, goodness, man. I've had plenty of those. Wrong school, wrong coach. I immediately do it. I'm sorry. If you don't take the time out and actually look at what you're typing in there, look who you're typing to, as far as you sending an email or a DM or anything like that, that means you don't really care.
Right.
Agreed. I'm laughing at it because I'm like, man, like, evidently you don't want this scholarship that bad, or you don't want to get my attention that bad.
Right.
You couldn't change my name from another coach that you probably sent
the same cookie cutting letter to.
So that's the tough part, because it might be a guy, that might be a dog.
Yeah.
It might be a dog, but come on, man. It's a simple thing. It's the details.
The details.
Very seldom do I watch a film. If I'm gonna use a coach, head high school coach. If you send it to everybody in the CIAA, 9 times out of 10, I'm not gonna watch that film. I want you to send the film to me personally and let me know how bad you want your kids to go to school.
Yeah.
If you send it to all 12 schools, or how many schools in the CIAA, 9 times out of 10, I'm not gonna look at it. I might click on it. If it's an offensive lineman, he's 6'4", he's 280 pounds, I'm gonna look at it. But if it's a wide receiver, running back, quarterback, 9 times out of 10, I'm not gonna watch it. Because I want that intimacy.
Right.
The same deal is when you want me to come to your school.
Right.
And look at your kids.
Right.
And recruit your kids. Like, treat us the same way.
Right. Absolutely.
You know, I'm kind of biased. If I get an email from my mom about her son, most of the time a red flag on my My mom sent it. You know, and instead of the coach.
Yeah.
If a coach is here in high school, be the head coach, he needs to try to set his program as possible. And by doing that, he's trying to get his kids in school.
Right.
So the kids shouldn't have to do that.
Right.
Really.
Right.
The coach is going to do that. That's his job.
Right.
In school. So back when I just said about the mom, you know, I know mom want to their kids in school and stuff, but I think they didn't realize that the coach here, he left my mom. A black boy in here said,
right.
I'm
If your mom's sending out an email, then
she gonna say my son can play. He's good at everybody on the field. Oh, he was mom.
That's old.
And as I say, and that's from Coach Wiggs. Being in the game long enough, please don't send moms. Don't send it. Your son is done.
Write the email form.
So let me ask y'all this, dude. So you know you got NCSA, that charges parents every month, and they quote unquote recruit their kids. Do you guys use it? Do you suggest that parents pay that monthly fee for that recruiting service? I mean, I know you can't tell them yes or no to do it, but in your experience as recruiters, is it something that you say, hey man, yeah, that's a great tool, or some people use it, some people don't?
I'll comment on that. I actually do use that. I do get emails from them.
Mm-hmm.
I would click on it to see, what the player profile looks like.
Mm-hmm.
And on there, they have the GPA and the highlights, and sometimes they have the transcripts too. So I think it's a pretty good tool. So,
Mm-hmm.
But it's so many recruiting agencies out here. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous. And I understand it because every parent or parents are trying to get their son or daughter noticed.
Yeah.
So they're trying every little thing they can do
Mm-hmm.
to get their child noticed. Whether it's signed up for one of those recruit agencies, from going to numerous camps, whatever the case may be. So
Yeah.
I completely understand why they do it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to say if this is a good thing or a bad thing,
Right.
but I do look at the NCS.
Okay.
I would say I look at it, not a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I like, once again, I'm an intimate type of guy.
Mm-hmm.
I want the head coach, assistant coach, mama, daddy,
Mm-hmm.
somebody selling their kids. If you're using that platform, I would still be selling my kids.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
Yeah.
have a two-way avenue.
Mm-hmm.
Not just use your resource. No different than if you're trying to get this job. You're gonna finagle yourself around the system to find the most important people
Mm-hmm.
that you need to get into the interview.
Mm-hmm.
So as a parent, use your resources. If you went to North Carolina Central, you want your son to go to North Carolina Central. If you went to school with Coach Oliver,
Yeah.
you should probably use that kind of those
The
type of
connections,
things,
yes.
those connections, and connect the dots to
Yeah.
get your son recognized. Not just go off of that platform, because that platform, a lot of times, I'll say this: a couple of times I responded to the platform and I didn't get no response back.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it wasn't. You didn't really know Ricky.
Yeah.
You were selling Ricky, but when I asked, Ricky, how, I like Ricky a whole lot.
Yeah.
He's fast. We
Yeah.
want to offer him a scholarship.
Yeah.
And I get
You
nothing.
get nothing in
I didn't
return.
get nothing.
Oh, yeah, I got those
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. So, Coach Wiggs, let me ask you this, because with recruiting, before we go to our next point, a lot of parents that I've experienced right now are terrified because they see the portal growing more and more, and they think coaches are pulling from the portal. I'm a round robin it, but I'm gonna start with you, Coach Wiggs. What are the kids who are in high school now competing with the portal?
Well, they're competing against kids who have college experience.
Mm-hmm.
And a college coach would rather have a kid who plays or been coached out of college.
Mm-hmm.
So he has first in college football.
Mm-hmm.
With a high school, you get a high school kid, he was real good in high school, but there ain't nothing saying in stone that he's going to be a good college player.
Correct.
So most times, the guys go for the guys who have experience.
Yeah.
If they do the same thing in prep school, they're kind of successful in the
Right.
He's going to accept them for a reason. He's trying to
Mm-hmm.
raise right. The portal is really hurting the high school kids.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of sad that it came about.
Yeah.
It's not a good player in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And the opportunity to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we still trying to have to use that identity.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, make a big difference, man. The portal, man, killing them kids.
Hess, what you seeing with the portal, man?
All right, so this is my thing with the portal and high school kids. We do dibble and dab in the portal. We do look for media guys and JUCO guys, and that's pretty mostly probably for O-line and B-line.
Mm-hmm.
But we recruit high school.
Mm-hmm.
We do go out and recruit high school, and for that is because I believe in growth and development.
Yeah.
You come into high school, when you come out as a freshman, now you getting acclimated to what we do in our coaching and our program.
Yeah.
When you go coming from a guy coming from the transfer portal, they kind of in their own way, whatever school or culture they coming from. So now we got to break them down and kind of redo them into what we believe in, how we do our thing. But what I would say is with the high school kids that I know because of we go high school recruiting, we give a lot of scholarships out, and then like Coach said, some of those scholarships we will communicate with those kids, but the kids will stop communicating. We're giving you an opportunity to further your education and your playing aspirations to come play on the next level.
Yeah.
We reach out to you, we offer you a scholarship, and then now the communication stops.
Right.
We also think that a lot of kids use other, like, as soon as they get that first offer, what's the first thing they're going to do?
They can tweet that out.
Tweet it. So now they use that as a pretty much a bait.
Thank God and peace and blessings. I received my first D1 offer from and tag 1 million people.
We do the first offer, and then again we don't hear from them, and we communicate. Like coaches be like, "Yo, coach, talk to coach, but they ain't responding."
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, all right now.
Yeah.
All right, high schoolers.
Right.
We give you an opportunity now. It's like, treat it as such, man. So that's my spiel on the high school.
So Coach Jones, like, how long does that offer stay out there, man? Because you ultimately at the top of it chain, right? So let's say Coach Hess and let's say Coach Wiggs say, "Hey, man, we put it out there. We ain't heard back from him." How long do you leave it out there before you move on to the next? Because I need parents and players both to know that you ain't got all day. And especially now with this portal, it's better to kind of know what schools you want to go to and what you're interested in. Go ahead on and commit and keep going. Playing that game of I want to stack offers works against you when you got a hungry guy in the portal that's looking for opportunity. So, Coach, talk about like how long you even play that game with a guy.
It depends. We try to shorten it up. Signing day, we had those guys come in on visits. We gave them 2 weeks. 2 weeks. A wide receiver don't even have that long because we got 10 wide receivers that look the same.
Yeah.
Offensive line wise, we might wait a little longer because he that dude.
Yeah.
We want him. But those skill positions, you ain't got long to make a decision because there's a lot of guys that look just like you.
Yeah.
On that transfer portal thing, man, I'm really on that transfer portal thing. I've learned a lot. Like a couple years right when the transfer portal started, we recruited a couple kids that I didn't do any background check on. Great football players, but just weren't great for our program. Didn't fit in what we were trying to do.
Yeah.
Whether they're selfish, whether they don't want to do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
So I learned my lesson. So the transfer portal, I try my best to communicate. If it's a kid that I have not recruited before and they went to another school, I need to call that coach.
Yeah.
Where I got a problem in the transfer portal right now is that even in our division, it's guys that we consider as friends.
Yeah.
Our kids go in the transfer portal, and you don't call me at all and ask me, what type of kid it is. Well, you're going to find out what type of kid it is when they get there. There's a reason why kids go in the transfer portal, whether it's good or bad.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying all kids are going to transfer portal bad. We have kids that went in the transfer portal that graduated from Shaw University, got a degree, and didn't have a master's program.
Right.
So be it. Go do go and get that master's degree. But I think as coaches, we got to do a better job. No matter how bad you want that kid, at the end of the day, do your research on them.
Yeah.
Don't be scared to call a coach and find out.
Yeah.
And I've been a victim of that too. I've experienced it, and I got hit in the back of the head. But I did not reach out to that coach to find out what was going on with that kid. Now, when you decide to grab that kid, after you talk to that coach, now it's all on you.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I think we need to do a better job of communication. I think this thing is bigger than just winning football games.
Right.
We're here to daggone build young men into men.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be sitting here today if it wasn't for that coach that you love.
Right. Right.
So I just think the game is getting a little bit on the cutthroat type thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's all about winning. Yes, we want to win football games.
Yeah.
But there's a way to win football games by being loyal to the people that you surround yourself.
Yeah. And I was going to go to the next point, but you just said something with that I want to hit on for parents. One of the things that I try to preach to parents and players is go where you're being loved and where you love. Not just because you like the jersey and all that. Do your research on the coaches, find out about retention, all that stuff. And the one thing I can say, even with being at Shaw U under two different regimes, both head coaches love the players. Coach Massey loved the players. And then Coach Jones loves the players. And what I have seen, even to a fault to these guys, they give people chance after chance after chance. Like, and it to me, I think it is a great thing. It's a gift for those who need that development. It's a curse for those who know how to try to manipulate a situation and they end up playing themselves out. But can you guys just talk about the difference of, because I don't like separating HBCUs from just D2 and D1 programs, but there is a difference when we talk about identity, when we're looking at young men who look like us. And can you just talk about that opportunity because you spoke about opportunity, you spoke about research and doing opportunity, same thing with you, Coach Wiggs, where we're coaching these players to be men, because we all know that this game comes to an end for all of us. All of us played, and it either went long or short, but all of us played. And now we still, the common factor is we all fathers, we all men in society, and we all got to do our job. So can you guys just talk about the program that you have, how you're building the relationships with your players to be those guys, and then what you're looking for in those guys to where, you know, this is a Shaw Bear that we need on our team.
So I've been coaching, and everywhere I went, I always tried to make a big impact on young men. And a lot of times, guys come back to me and they'll call me and tell me they're not done for them. And they learn from me, and then they do it to them too. And I find pride. I find big pride in that. And I'd rather have a kid tell me what I did for him in his life than for a guy who played in the NFL come to me 500 tickets. You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
And I, that's our job to do that. It comes with coaching. Because like you said earlier, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that guy with Morgan State. We had a team on our street, all kids. They had our t-shirt green with a number on it. Got a helmet for Christmas. You know. With one strap on it. A cardboard, you know what I'm saying? Hey man, one for that, man. I don't know why I would be there, man.
Yeah. Coach Hess, can you just talk about it? Just because one thing people think, or people don't know, and for me personally, I have been an HBCU player and student at Winston-Salem. Then I went back home, PWI, Duquesne University, Catholic University. And it is a distinct damn difference. And I missed Winston-Salem every single day, but I was one of the kids that blew my opportunity because I went down there and wowed out. You know what I mean? And I took for granted brothers who were looking out for me versus me saying, damn, they looking out for me because they want me to do better. But can you talk about that relationship building with just the offense and even your unit with receivers?
Oh, man. I tell you this, the player-coach relationship is number one for me. That's my main philosophy, having that great communication relationship with your players. Whether it's, now I was a receivers coach in OC, but I'm telling you, I know every football player on that team. Granted, I was a recruiting coordinator, but it's just something about knowing, your players that you pretty much putting livelihood into these 17 to 21-year-old men. So let me know about you and you know about me. So just getting that communication, the relationship between them is important. I'm big on that. So what I do within my meetings, I don't just talk about football. I talk about life after football. That's one of the biggest things as far as what we do on our offensive side. Because we know, as you said, we know that at some point in time you have to hang those sticks up. So I tell them they're not going to do, or they're not doing anything that I or any coach that do already. Right. So it's okay to, like, be truthful. You know what I'm saying? I know what you're doing. Like, let's talk about it. How can we get through it? So it's been some good and it's been some bad. But like I said, man, the biggest thing is just having that relationship with your players. From the time, like I said, I talked about growth and development. So the time they come in, they step foot as a freshman. So the time they leave as a graduate at Shaw University in our program. We still maintain a good relationship. A good relationship with all the receivers that came up under me. Even in high school. Even in high school. So, it's been a great thing because it keeps me, uplifted. Knowing like Coach Slick and say, got kids that come and say, I appreciate everything that you do. So
Yeah. And so, Coach, I want to swing it to you as the head man because I took an L at Enloe. A lot of people don't even know, but now the Enloe's over. The one thing that got us in trouble was a young man who was in and out. He was an in and out kid. Some days he showed up, some days he didn't. But I knew Friday night he would show up with us every Friday night. And in my mind as a head coach, I'd rather your ass be with me on a Friday night than in them streets because I don't want to read about you either dead or in jail. And come to find out, you know, he had a bad physical. He didn't play, but he had a bad physical. He was on the sideline, so we got in trouble for that. And, you know, a lot of people, why did you take that L? Well, at that time, nobody understood until after he graduated and he was on Carolina mugshots for robbing somebody's house. And so he had a whole bunch of other charges, you know what I mean? So it was one of them things where I seen it in the kid, so I was willing to give him a chance. Even to the detriment of me taking that L for the team. But talk about how you as a coach see past, you know, just football, and you do give guys chances. I personally seen it. Like I'm like, damn, he give him enough chance. But personally, what does that mean to you, Coach? But you know, being in the seat to facilitate that chance until maybe a kid gets it. Can you talk about that?
It's a love factor, man.
Yeah.
You know, like I tell the guys, like each and every day after we finish practice, you've been there. I always say I love you.
Yeah.
And it ain't an act. It's real. I do love you. Giving them chances. I wasn't the best kid on the block. You know, Coach Little, you know, was my college coach, and he got some stories about me.
Yeah.
But I remember I never made the same mistake. But whatever mistake I made, he walked me through it.
Yeah.
He was like that father, you know. And that's what I'm here for. When them parents come on that campus and we're recruiting their kids, the one thing that we say, we're going to take care of your kids.
Mm-hmm. We're
going to treat your kid like a God's kid.
Yeah.
Granted, mom and daddy at home, you might break curfew. You get another chance to go out with your friends. Well, you get another chance to play football. Now, you can't make that same mistake over and over again. But I think we do a good job of trying to make sure that we get our kids to understand.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we do have some casualties where we have to put a guy off the team, but you have to really just keep doing something over and over again to do that. Now, we on live, that don't mean none of my kids need to think they can keep doing something over and over again. You know, their vice grip done got a little tighter than what it normally has. You know, I kind of go back to my old school ways. And you got to sometimes just to prove a point and make sure that you got a handle on your kids at the end of the day. But at the end of the day, like I tell everybody, man, I genuinely care about each and every kid that's on that football team, whether they're on scholarship or they're a walk-on.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, they're sacrificing their body for the better good of us to win a football
Yeah,
game.
yeah. So because we've been on for a while, I kind of dipped into that and didn't go into our next point, but I'm going to try to segue into it real smooth right now. Tell us just what is up for Shaw coming up this season. And the reason why I feel good about Shaw U, because I paid attention even though I wasn't with y'all, miss y'all, you know what I'm saying? And first, I want to thank y'all for being there during that time that my mom was sick. Because for those that did not know, I was coaching with them during the time that my mom was suffering for cancer. So there was those final days. But so I appreciate it because it was an outlet that I definitely needed. And so, but with that being said, in those games that we were coaching, we was just, 2-3 points away. And then last year I was watching, I'm like, damn, y'all didn't lose one game by more than 14 points. Most of them was within 6 to 7 points. So this year, what's going to get y'all over the hump for the games that we should be winning this game? So what can we expect from Shaw this year to get over that hump? Because y'all, we right there. We right there. You know what I mean? And Coach Jones, we've discussed it before. The championship, when you watch practice, the team is there. So what guys, because this was the mindset, the podcast was about a winning mindset. So what is it that you guys see that's going to take it over the top so that you can get that CI this year?
Oh, man, I'll go ahead and start with this. Coach Liggins, the OG, so I know his defense is going to be ready. I honestly think it's on the offense to put points on the board, plain and simple. Like you said, we were a couple of games that we were pretty much 6 or 7 points away. And a couple of things didn't fall, our way on the offensive side. So, again, going back, reflecting, I watched all the games and trying to figure out exactly what we need to work on. And it's pretty much being efficient and being consistent in what we do. And we developed some standards too.
Yeah.
I don't think we didn't have any standards going into the fall, but now we have standards from the spring so that we're going to carry over to the fall. And when you have standards now, you hold everybody up to those type of standards.
Yeah.
You have everybody being accountable for their play and their position. So
yes, sir.
That's the biggest thing going as far as the offense. And I mean, I pretty much got off the dogs, but
right.
all of it.
Yeah.
There was a young group got 25 coming back these years, and they got 3 coming back. So I got my punching in the run game. The main thing is for us, we got to throw the ball.
Yeah.
We got to be able to pass the ball. And now going to talk about who's in there. They got to go under my line and look at our, come to the spring game.
Come on to the game. Yeah.
See what we got. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. Had a really good practice today, and we broke down on consistency. That's what I want to see from here all the way through the in the spring ball.
Yeah. Yep. Coach Wiggs, what can we see on the D?
Well, on the defense, we found the new guys. So we got guys who have played in the game. Guys with good experience. But I thought overall, man, I think as a team that we got to hang together and don't think because in a game you have adversity, you get 5 times.
Yes.
You got to learn, and the only way you're gonna fight through that, you got to fight through as a team. So we're gonna be all right, man. I really believe that. I think that we lost our game last year about one school. So and that caused some kind of ball bounce, kind of funny. But just got to stay on task and hang together. And just gotta just do our thing.
Yeah. Cool. Overall, Coach, what we looking at to get over that hump?
So like Coach Hess was talking about, we set standards. We talked to our guys. We self-evaluated. I'm not a loser. You can look at our records, and you can look at what we have done at Charlotte University with the least amount of resources in the conference. At the end of the day, we're still doing a good job. We just got to stay consistent. And I pulled up this quote. We decided to say, "Leave no doubt." Leave no doubt is a rally cry for competitors to let their hustle be louder than their mouth. It's the reminder to remember your legacy every day and leave those you are around better at the end of each day. So at the end of each day, we got to leave no doubt that we put our best foot forward on what we're supposed to do as a football team. From warm-ups, we used to have offense on one side, defense on another side stretching. Now we done said no. Everybody mixed it in.
Yeah.
We're not dividing offense and defense. We're trying to stick together as a team.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be our best football season right here. One reason I'm saying that is because coaching staff. We're all as one. We got creative on offense.
Yeah.
You got to be I always say, a great coach. When a kid leaves a program, you recruit within the program. There's some positions that guys have left, the guys that are on our team right now that are filling that void right now at this point that we didn't think to fill that void. But we've done a good job of maximizing our talent that we have on that football field. We're going to win a championship with the guys that are in spring ball right now.
Yes, sir.
We like that the guys are coming, that we have recruited that are good, but we cannot depend on them. We got to make sure that we're doing what we got.
Yes, sir.
In spring ball right now. So I think it's just a different style of football. We holding our guys accountable. And our guys, I think when they started, we were 4-6, and they saw how at the end of the year I said, seniors stand up, and it was 16 that stood up, and then guys on the knee looking around like, no.
That's it.
We got everybody.
Everybody's back.
You got, and I would say we got Sidney Gill.
Yeah.
You got Andre Brand.
Yeah.
You got Christian Peters. You got Akithio Carson. You got you got Snipes. Well, that's his nickname, number 21. Jameson Boyd. I mean, the list goes on. Brian Patterson. Those guys. We got guys. We got dudes. We just got to put it together, and I think our guys are like bought in. We wake up at 6 a.m. in the weight room with our football players.
Yeah.
not just me, but our staff is in the weight room and they love it.
Yeah.
They're getting massive. They're getting bigger, faster, and stronger. So I expect to see a better Shaw football team. And I'll go even deeper than that. Just going back, looking at my career, every 7 years.
Yeah.
7 years. 7 years ago, 2013 was my 7th year at Southern Durham High School. We won a state championship.
Yeah.
The same exact football team that we got right now.
Gotcha.
We didn't have a lot of wins that year before that. But we had everybody coming back.
Yeah.
We saw growth. We stuck together. We spent time together, and it's there.
Got over,
It's there. We're not worried about anybody in our conference. Everybody got good football teams.
Yeah.
But we're gonna outcoach everybody.
Yeah, it is.
And I think our guys are gonna buy into the system and beware of the band.
Yeah, I like it. I love it. So, Coach, before we get out of here, tell everybody who is watching and for those who will watch how they get in contact if they're interested. Please don't have your mama send Coach Wiggs no emails. Y'all done heard that shit. So, but how do we get in contact if we're interested in being a part of the Shaw family, man?
My email is torian.hester@shawu.edu. That's torian.hester@shawu.edu. Pretty much all our information is on our website. But my Twitter, I don't think that is on the website, but it's Coach_HES. And Twitter is pretty much what I go to as far as watching film and evaluating that.
Cool. And I'll make sure that the website is inside the comment section so that you guys can check it out. Once again, man, I thank y'all for being here, man. Anybody Duke fans in here?
No, I'm a UVA fan, man.
Oh, y'all UVA fans? Okay. All right, yeah, let me let y'all get out of here so y'all can watch that. Hey, and for everybody who tuned in, I appreciate it. And we are off next week. I'm chilling, but please tune in for my sister with her Women Impacting Now series. That'll be on Tuesday and Thursday this week. So with that being said, don't compare, compete. Your process is not the same as somebody else's. Just because they're a little bit further ahead in the race doesn't mean they're going to win. Just keep working. All right? Peace.